Honestly, a lot of our early shows when we started drawing well in Seattle were like, we weren't, like, bartenders were like, we're not making any like, we had a completely non-drinking crowd.
Right.
And I was like, I don't know what to do about that. I'm like, that's just, how do I adjust that?
Can you
There's
get some
nothing
drunks to the show,
totally.
please?
Now we have some drinkers, so
Yeah.
it's a lot better, but...
So I noticed that you do definitely have, like, a core regular group of followers, right? Is it are you collecting the followers that you want? Are they the right folks?
You mean, is it like Nickelback, where it's like you hate your audience kind of thing? Like,
does Nickelback hate their audience?
I don't know if they. I just had I had that conversation.
And it's residual.
Totally.
They just hate each other.
No, but you know what it is? I think it's that like you start getting defined by your audience.
Yeah.
And like, but so we have this publicist, and you know they're like, "What's your demographic?" And we have no idea.
People.
We draw we have all these Latin girls in LA that like us. We have these, old black dudes in Oakland that love us. We have all these like young white kids in Denver that love us. It's like it's so all over the map.
Artsy weirdos.
Yeah, I don't have any like we're not like this is our demo, 25 to 34 white male. Like we don't have a demo like that. But that's encouraging to me. You know what I mean?
Well, it means that you could probably cross more borders if people would get if people are exposed to you, a wider group array of people might like you.
We're trying to figure out the next step for our band. Like, we started going on tour this year, and the next step is like getting on bills with bigger bands and going on tour with a band and who already has draw. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It's kind of baby steps. We just started touring this year and just started getting headline spots in the city.
So you could do that for 6, 8, 10 months and just kind of build more of a reputation. Take care of that.
I know.
You saw a show.
That I was wondering was about touring is who would you even see yourself touring with, because it's like a match.
We've had that conversation so many times.
Everyone's like, why don't you reach out to nationals? And I'm always like, who? Like,
yeah,
I don't
which
know who.
Band?
We've been compared to like Nine Inch Nails,
Sleigh Bells,
St. Vincent.
Sleigh Bells is pretty raw, but I could see you guys opening for them.
I don't think we're gonna find a bill like we're really like just like that band. Yeah. We'd have to find something that has like a similar spirit
I'd love to open
it.
for like Diane Word,
or the Kills,
or Dead Weather.
I
don't even know. Nine Inch Nails would be cool. He's going on tour a lot right now. Or rather, I just see people are like...
But how would you pull something like that off? Like,
I have no idea.
I don't
That's
know.
what we're I think what we're really going through as a band right now is that we have an EP, and if I give you our EP and you listen to it, people are like, yeah, they're good, they're decent. But then they see us live, and they're like, I love this band. Yeah. And then they listen to the EP, and they're like, I love this EP. And I don't really understand, and we don't really have the budget to produce something that's going to give you that experience. You know?
But nowadays, I think the new demo is a video, is a music video. It's got to be, because they want to see stage presence. They want to see what your vibe is.
People listen with their eyes.
They do.
Seconds. People give you seconds to like make or break it. Like we have Bandcamp.
Wow me right now.
Yeah, right.
Everything
we have
is
Bandcamp, and it'll tell you
instantaneous.
like how many people listen 10%, how many listen 10 to 90, and how many listen 90 more. And there's an astonishing number of people that cut off before that 10%. I'm like, she didn't even start singing yet. Like, how can you so instantly like judge a band and be like, no, I hate this forever. I will never like this band. You're like,
and yet people do though.
Constantly, and whether any form of media, art, visual art.
It's also word of mouth. People have to know it's not enough that they just find you by chance.
They have to have value.
And if they know someone that has seen you and their friend likes you, for some reason that legitimizes you more in their eyes. They're like, oh, I know someone that I like and they like them, so therefore I like them.
Well, how many bands do you know, like growing up where you saw so you're from LA, so you'd see a band that no one really gave a shit about. They'd leave LA, they'd come back huge, and everyone's like, I fucking love these guys from the door. Like, they have that attitude when you're like, you never came to a show. You know what I mean? But it's that perceived value to stuff, you know? I don't fully understand that, and it's hard because we go back and forth between a place of just trying to be artists and write music. Well, like, that's really the core of what we're trying to do.
And I think that you should stay, in my humble opinion, I think that you should focus on that. I feel like when I think of who I see you guys fitting in with, I feel like I see you on, you know, like a lineup with somebody like the Deftones or something like that. The new stuff is very powerful. The new stuff is edgy. It borders on, some of the stuff that Drew's doing borders on what I would call industrial. And your lilty kind of harmonics on top of that is a very, very unique kind of combination that I don't know that I could place you immediately. Hear him with that.
I know.
We saw a show.
Try and I wanna kiss you till your lips bleed. I wanna hold you till you can't breathe. I wanna watch you kick and scream and try to fight until you learn all moves right in. I wanna kiss you till your lips bleed. I wanna hold you till...
Totally.
Now you guys helped
on
that
another
out.
level, you saw us, like, you were
saw
the
the
first person we
transformation.
ever played a song in front of, right? Like, the
Yeah.
very first time in your basement at your old place. Like, that was
Oh
the
my
And that
first
sounds
time.
like a bullshit story.
No, it's
doesn't
so
it?
true.
And I have
forgot
video.
I was like
that.
this.
I
was like
video. I'm
shaking.
gonna try and
like
find and include
No, that's
that
good. That's good.
in here.
We
But
watch old
Oh my
videos of us and we're just like,
God.
that's horrifying
I
to watch.
forgot
Like,
about
yeah.
that.
yeah,
Deep.
very beginning, it was really like kind of ephemeral
Yeah,
and like, you
definitely.
know, ghosty.
Well, it was
kind
me
of
coming
stuff. It
from,
wasn't
like, a-
shoegaze.
I was
but
coming
it
from
was-
like a
I know.
punk and a rock background, and I had this like soul singer, and I was like, "What do I do? Like, I don't know what to do." I
Right.
had no idea what that middle
Well, and I
ground
only
was.
sang in
and-
church in my room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
No, but it was whatever path it took was the right one because where it's at right now is really fucking amazing. And
What's been coming up for us a lot lately is, for a while we were like, things started going better for us when we didn't really care about the audience anymore. But I realized fundamentally that's what I meant, but it's not really what I meant. What I meant was that like we got to this place where we loved what we were doing, and it's not really about you anymore. You know what I mean? It's not about the audience anymore. The way it's about the audience is that connection. When we play a room like our Croc show, we had a sold out Croc show. When we played that, and everyone was moving, like there's that energy and there's a connection, and of course we love that. But if that's not there, it doesn't matter on some level. And I mean, like 100's great depending on the
It's
room.
a big
100
room.
can be, but that's like a 300-person room.
Right.
So 100 really isn't anything, you know.
and let's preface this by saying that every single Seattle band that I knew was playing that.
Literally, like
Mhm.
almost everybody.
This was a
All of
hard
our
choice.
friends.
To,
It was everybody was screwed. Like everybody had like a third.
And we've talked to everyone, and yeah,
Or
everyone
like it was
like,
okay. So I think whatever, but the trick is.
Plus, it was a good place to play a
It
new
was,
song.
I
We've
know,
never
but-
played that slow song
but-
before. That's an old song.
But the trick is it can't be about other people. It has to be about us. And it's like, yes, there is something like when that energy's there, like it's fantastic, and there's nothing that beats that feeling. But the reality is we have to facilitate this in an environment, and whether they're in it or not, we have to make it. And like we have to put it all out there every single time.
right.
For us personally, so we can have some sort of
Well, for me, it's much
artistic
easier. Like
way
what
to get
Hope
off,
is
but-
great at, and then I'm not great at. It's like we'll go on tour, and like sometimes we'll play for 100 people on tour, sometimes we'll play for 9, and she's good at being the same person.
Right.
Where I'm like, this is awkward. There's 9 people.
like that's
So I think it might be that you guys are definitely something outside of the box, and it takes people a minute to wrap their heads
I
around.
mean,
I
we've
would-
had
I would
1,000
agree.
people come up to us and be like, I saw you the first time, and I was interested. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
they're
Or at least we're
interested,
interested.
interested
Dating
enough
site,
to
like,
like, yeah, interested enough to come back. You know what I mean? But like they didn't know if they liked it. Second time they're like, I liked this, and the third time they're like, I was a fan. You know what I mean?
You know, I don't know that that's not a great reaction.
I think that's
because
my
it is.
favorite.
Yeah,
artists
because it
are
says
like
what
that.
you're doing is deep, and they're listening to pure. But there's a lot of thought put into your arrangements.
Oh yeah.
Right?
There is.
There's a
But
lot of
I
thought
finally
to
feel
it.
like I'm in a place where I can do something that highlights what she does, and I'm still super happy with what I'm playing, you know? But it took me 50 songs to get there, where I can be like, because I like it to be grittier and nastier. Like, that's the kind of music I like. I like this more visceral music, you know?
Well, it needs
And
to
we both
balance
found the
her
balance.
voice
Totally,
out,
totally.
too, because, you know
We
what I
were
mean?
just having this conversation with a friend earlier. When you're in a band, it's the same as any relationship. You can't have a friend and just, I don't know, like when you're in a relationship with somebody, how do I say this? And you just keep doing the things that you do. With Amy, you're like, but this is what I do. And she's like, yeah, but that sucks. And it really hurts my feelings because you're not. You're like, but this is what I do.
This isn't about our sex life.
No, but
She just wanted us to talk to you, so
I
she asked
know.
us.
I thought missionary was working. I didn't.
no, you
How
know
the
what
Pilgrims
I
did.
I wanted to do it like the Pilgrims did it.
It's
I thought
T
you were a
46.
Quaker.
No, you know what I mean though. Like you have to bend to that.
Mhm.
You have to work together, and it's the same with a band. Like he can't just write everything that he feels like writing because I might sound like crap over it, and I can't do what
Well, I love the
my natural
context,
intention
yeah.
is because it might just sound stupid. Like you have to think together about this exterior thing that you're making and work into it. But so many people are like, well, this is what I do, and this is what I do, and then they don't work together. They just write their parts and they bicker about who's as good.
I don't know.
Like we scrap tons of stuff
We
all
do.
the time, you know. Like,
Well, and I mean, for me, I never wanted to be in a band until I found myself in one, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Like, I wasn't growing up like, I want to be in a rock band someday. Like, I accidentally ran into Drew, we became friends, and then we started making music, and then I was like, shit, I think I'm in a band. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
which is the accurate or the correct response? Shit, I
I-
think I'm in a band.
I know
that was what I was when I
That's
heard her
what
sing
it
the first
was.
time. I was done, man. I did not want to play music, and I heard her sing, and I was like, fuck. I was like, she's really good.
Right.
You know, I was like, this is a mistake if I don't do something with her, you know?
Well, it would have been, and I
Totally.
think that you both made the right choice in pursuing
worked
this
out.
because it worked out. It's continuing to work out, and you know, it's one of these things where maybe timelines are weird. You know what I mean? Like whatever timeline you guys have in your head for the way stuff's supposed to happen,
It's not
I
gonna
can
happen.
guarantee it won't happen
Totally.
in that timeline.
Uh-huh.
So the best thing to do is to just stay busy and produce, right? Produce stuff, make more art, make, and then somewhere where it's totally inconvenient, some opportunity will present
totally
itself,
agree
and you'll
with
be
that.
like, we can't do that now.
Right. That
All right,
literally-
fine.
that literally- That's our whole thing, and we have that many
When are you
people
going
around.
back on tour?
August
So-
or September, we're not sure
September,
yet.
probably.
We might be doing an album in August.
It's still
We have to
in the
make some
works.
decisions.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Anyway, so I'm stoked that you guys would do this for me.
Of course.
I'm really pumped. I want to try and get.
So yeah.
Oh yeah, Rufus.
Oh.
Yeah.
Howard. Can you make sparks come out of that in post?
In post.
Boom.
No, but I really am happy that you guys came by. I love you guys, man. I've loved you from the start.
I know, you were like the
You literally
first
have.
person, literally the first
and
person.
I knew that it would grow and go, and it's still doing that, and it's still in the fledgling stages. So I don't think that you guys should be, angsty
we're not.
about
You know,
anything.
the hard
I think
thing
that
is-
it's happening, and it's time that it has
Time
to
It's
happen.
takes
exactly
time.
exactly
It does
what you
take
were
time.
talking about, like with the time frame. I think the hardest thing that we struggle with is just being present and happy and enjoying what we're doing, but also constantly thinking 4 months ahead. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
like, how do you live in both those worlds? Like, you have to make moves like that. I have to book shows that far out. I have to do stuff like that. So it's like, how am I just here and happy and present, and also like, hey, I have to worry about all this. Like,
All right, well, this has been episode 4 with ESA, Ever So Android. I can't thank you guys
Thank you.
enough for
public
coming.
handshaking.
Yay!
I love you guys,
Love
and
you
I look
too.
forward to when you guys are so big that you won't even take my calls anymore.
We're really
Really?
excited for that too.
I know, right?
Figuring
right, guys.
Cool.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah. I have to pee now.
All right.
Ah, Pete, man.
See,
Pete,
there's
we had an interview
there's my
with
ending
Pete
shot with B-roll right there.
Thanks.
have to
And
pee
I
now.
gotta pee. Will you take all 3 of those?
Easy, lady.
So.
Mediocre, it's not forsaken. The music they're making will leave you with a feeling of indifference. How was the band? They were okay, not great, but pretty good. They played the songs I knew they would. Some old, some new. The same formula stays true. We can't concur.